lovely humans, welcome to Starlight and Stitches. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If you like crochet, craft, yarn hauls, end of the month finished project videos, crochet book reviews, all sorts of lovely crafty goodness, then hit subscribe and join my subscribers, because my subscribers are the best. So if you are also the best, come and join us. This is our lovely, happy, positive place on the internet. Today, I'm delving into the depths of tutorials again. Disclaimer, and I always say this, I am not made for making tutorials, okay? I'm not very good with camera angles and explaining myself very well, so I hope this tutorial is adequate. Please don't shout at me if you get confused. I'm really not the best, but people do ask me to do tutorials, so I do try and delve into them every now and then. This tutorial today is for these cute little mini stockings, okay? So you can make these really quickly. They're a fun little decoration you can hang from your tree. You can make them into a brooch and wear them on your Christmas jumper. You could put a magnet in them and stick it on your fridge to hold your little notes and stuff. These are super easy to make. You only need 2 colours of yarn. It could be any type of yarn you like, as long as you are using the correct corresponding hook. I have made one here in the Chanel yarn, which has come up a little bigger as I've used a bigger hook to correspond with my yarn. But this is still a lovely little decoration. Like I say, you can hang them from your tree, around your fireplace. You can give them to people as gifts. They are really easy to make. So I'm going to take you over to my mucky crafting table, and hopefully this tutorial will give you some inspiration. So for this mini stocking, you don't need much. You need 2 different colours of yarn, one for the main colour of the stocking, and I like to have some white for the heel and the top trimming. You need a corresponding crochet hook. Now I am using for this one the Stylecraft Special Chunky, which I like to use my 4.5, that is a very battered hook, but my 4.5mm hook. Obviously, whatever yarn you are using, make sure you use a corresponding hook so that it's not too loose and wiggly. You will need a little pair of snippers and a needle, just for threading in your loose ends and closing up one tiny hole on the heel. So it's very easy. Let's get started. So we start this pattern with our main colour, so whichever colour you've decided, and there is 2 ways that you can start this particular project. You can either do a magic ring, which I usually like to do, or you can do the chain 2 method. So I'm going to do a magic ring just because that is my preferred method, but the chain 2 method works just as well. So if you're doing the magic ring, you're going to do 6 single crochets into a magic ring. If you're doing the chain 2 method, you're going to chain 2 and then do 6 single crochets into the second chain from your hook. So I'm doing the magic ring, so I'm going to go 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I'm going to just tighten that up a little here. So we've started with our 6 single crochets. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to increase in every stitch going around. So we don't need to slip stitch and then chain and then do another round. We're just going to keep going in a spiral, so you don't need to worry too much. So we're going to go 2 single crochets in each stitch, and that will give us our increase. So we're going to go 1 and 2, that's the first one, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. So that was our increase row there. I'm just going to tighten up my magic ring one more time now that I've got that second row on, so that's really nice and closed tightly. So once you've done your increase round, what you're going to do for rounds 3, 4, 5 and 6 is single crochet around. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a stitch marker here on my last stitch, so just on this one here, so that I can do round 3 and then round 4 and then round 5 and then round 6, and then I know when I'm getting to the end of each round. So let's keep going. So round 3, round 4, round 5 and round 6 is just a single crochet in each stitch. I will make a start and then I will meet you at the end of round 6. So I'm just coming to the end of round 6 now. If anybody else has cats, then they will understand the pain of seeing a cat hair getting crocheted into every single one of their pieces. So that is the end of round 6. It's almost like a little finger guard. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to pull this loop up just so that I don't lose it. And I'm going to take my white yarn here. With your white yarn, this is going to be making the heel of your mini stocking. So what you're going to want to do is just do a slip knot and pop that on your hook like that. And then we're going to count back 6 stitches from this last one that we've done, and we're going to put our white yarn into that stitch. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we're going to put our yarn in here and we're going to make a single crochet right there. So that's 1, and then we're going to go back this way, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, just watch out for that loop, and then 6 in that last one there. So we've got 6 white single crochets across the bottom there. And then we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to do 6 going back across the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in that last one there. And then one more time we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and 6 back along the other direction. 1, 2, 3, oh my yarn's coming to get me, 4, 5 and 6. Did I get both? Yeah. Okay. You can snip that off and then just pull that through. So that is the heel of our mini stocking. After you've done the heel, we're going to go back to the original colour of your mini stocking. So we're going to put our hook back in here, get that nice and tight back on there. We're going to single crochet 6 along this red part here, and hopefully you should, by the end of those 6, you should get to the white. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try not to get this thread caught. 6. Great. And then the next step is we're going to do 3 single crochets up the side of this white part here. So there's no definite place of where to put these stitches, as long as you get 3 single crochets up along this edge here. So this is up the side of the heel. So just go in where you feel is right. That's 1 and 2, and I'm going to try and get one in there. Yeah, lovely. 3. So 3 up the side there. And then what you need to do, this is quite important, with your white part, we're going to kind of fold it in half here, like that. So you've got your red bit up the side, and you want this edge and this edge to kind of meet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 single crochets back down the other side here. So we're going to leave this bit, this is just going to be folded over, and you're going to do 3 single crochets back down this side here. And again, just be aware of these little tail endy bits. So I'm going to go in there and do 1 and 2 and 3 in that one there. Okay. And then what I generally tend to do is just tuck those bits inside, because if you're using this for an ornament or a pin badge, no one's going to know they're there anyway. So it makes life easier. So we've done 6 along there and then 6 all the way around. So we've still got our 12 stitches all the way around. So I've popped my stitch marker back in place. So that is now in the last stitch of the round. So let's go back round again. So we're going to go 6 single crochets back across the top of the red part. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we'll follow back down the heel and up the other side again, so that's another 6 crochets, single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, that's right, 5, and last stitch 6. Pop the stitch marker back in so I know where I am. Now we're going to carry on for rounds 9, 10 and 11, so 3 more rounds of single crochets, just going around all 12. So 3 more rounds of single crochets. If you like, you can stitch that together, which I will probably do, just pop a little stitch in it at the back just so that you don't have the hole. But for now, let's continue. I will carry on doing my single crochets all the way around for rows 9, 10 and 11, and I will meet you back at the end of round 11. So here we are at the end of round 11. This is my last stitch going in here. Once you've completed that round, you can slip stitch it into the next stitch, snip that off. These are the world's bluntest scissors. Pull that through. So we're nearly done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to tuck this inside. You can weave your ends in if you like, but I'm lazy, so I'm doing you the lazy guide. And we have got one last section to do, and we're going back to our trim colour, so I'm using white. We're going to make a slip knot and pop that on our hook. And we're just going to join this to the top of the sock with a single crochet. And that counts as our first single crochet. We're going to do 2 rounds in white. Let me pop that in there. So we're going to go 12 stitches of single crochet. So that's 1, this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's 1 round of white. And we're going to do 1 more round of white and then we are done. So you can just continue on, go into that first stitch. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And our final stitch, number 12. Okay, so if you want your sock just like this, your little stocking just like this, you can fasten it off, slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten it off like that. Weave in your ends, etc, etc. However, I want to make mine as a little tree decoration. So I've done my slip stitch and I'm just going to pull this loop up a little bit here, like so, about that long. I'm going to snip off here and then I'm just going to get my little needle. I'm going to try and keep that loop intact, so when I thread my end in, I don't want to pull it so tight that it then pulls that back through. So this is probably quite tricky to see on the white, but I'm just going to pop it through a couple of stitches, pull that through and then stop there. Just don't pull it through anymore because otherwise you'll lose this hanging loop. And then I'm going to go back through some more of my white stitches. It doesn't have to be mega tight because obviously if this is hanging on a tree, hopefully you're not going to have anybody yanking on it. And then once again, I'm just going to tuck that all in. The last thing to check out is this little gap at the back here. So we've got our stocking. This is absolutely acceptable as it is, but you may want to just put a little stitch through there. And what I'm actually going to do, thinking about it, is I'm going to use this, the end of this tail. I'm going to come down through here, find my hole, here it is, and I'm just going to put a stitch in the back of that one there and then bring it over to this one. That's it, and then I can pull that through and it's just going to close that hole up for me. Perfect. And again, you don't need to worry too much about weaving ends and stuff in because, like I say, it's not going to get yanked about. Obviously, if you want to make it a bit more secure, please do that. But that is it. That is how you make a mini stocking. Really easy. I hope that that all made sense. My terrible tutorial skills haven't put you off. It's so easy and it's so cute. So I do hope that you found that educational enough and coherent enough to make your own tiny little stocking. I made a bunch of these a few years ago just to add into my little bags of gifts for my family, and they're really, really lovely. And like I've said before, you can make them in any yarn at all. You don't have to have like a solid colour and a white. You could do like a fancy colour all the way around if you so wished. but they are super easy. Let me know if you're going to make some of these, and if you would like any more tutorials coming up to Christmas, then please also tell me in the description box down below and I will oblige. I'm under no illusions that there are much better people at giving tutorials than me, but I just hope that what I can give you gives you some little crafty ideas on the lead up to Christmas. Next week, who knows, it should be an end of the month finished project video, but I haven't done an awful lot, so we'll see what happens next week. But yes, please do let me know if you would like some more tutorials. I'm probably going to be making a bunch more of these and hanging them all over my tree this year when that eventually goes up. So that's that. Let me know down below what you think. If you make some, let me know. If you want more tutorials for Christmas, let me know and I will see what I can do. Yeah, enjoy making your tiny little stockings. I'm going to be one of those weird people and I'm going to put it on my hand. Have a good week. Look after yourselves. Look after your loved ones. And I will see you next week. Oh, and thank you so much to everybody for all their birthday wishes for Abigail as well. It was really, really appreciated. And she had a fantastic birthday. Chief Yarn Squisher is now 10 years old. So thank you all for that. Have a lovely week. Mwah. Love you all. Bye-bye.